empires in history. At its height, it controlled almost all of Europe and parts of Asia and Africa. When people think of Rome, they tend to think of the power and control it had at first. Another thing the Romans are known for, other than their impressive history, is also their architecture. The fact that hundreds, even thousands of years ago, the Romans could build what they did is remarkable. One of the first buildings people think of when they hear of Rome is the Colosseum. People may also think of the Pantheon and St. Peter's Basilica, but one of the most overlooked pieces of ancient Roman architecture is the Basilica of Maxentius and Constantine. This basilica's construction was started by Maxentius in AD 308 and was finished in AD 312 by Constantine. One may ask why both emperors had a part in constructing this basilica. The answer to this question starts back when Constantine's father, was the emperor of Western Rome, and the emperor of Western Rome died in AD 306. Constantine then became the next rightful emperor of Western Rome. But Maxentius had gained the support of most of Rome and was proclaimed by the people of Rome emperor of Western Rome on October 28, AD 306, just 2 months after Constantius had died. From this moment on, Maxentius and Constantine absolutely hated each other. The conflict eventually led to the Battle of Milvian Bridge in the latter part of AD 312. This battle resulted in the defeat of Maxentius and the rise of Constantine as emperor. Maxentius was killed in the battle and was thrown into the Tiber River, and later was retrieved and beheaded. Constantine then took control of Rome in late AD 312 and finished the basilica the same year. Basilicas before this one would have been built with flat roofs and would have had wooden beams for support. But this basilica was the first to have arches. It is divided into 3 sections, the center nave measuring 105 feet high, and 2 side aisles measuring 75 feet high. It incorporated elements of both the traditional basilica and the public Roman baths. The public Roman baths often were seen with arches, domes, and vaults. Not only did this vast basilica have an amazing use of arches and vaults, but it also had a gigantic statue of Constantine on the far western side of the basilica. This statue was called the Colossus of Constantine and stood over 35 feet high, although the statue depicted him sitting down. His head was over 7 feet tall, and his hands were 6 feet long. It was made mostly of white marble, but had some wood in it too. This statue, along with the basilica itself, made this building truly something to marvel at. And although much is not standing today, it still should be seen as one of the most significant buildings made in Roman history. This building served the purpose of a normal basilica, meaning it would have been used as a public marketplace and trade. Due to its location, it makes sense that it is why it is of such a significant size. It is built on what was one of the straightest and longest stretches of the route of triumphal procession. It is in the center of the Roman Forum and would have been one of the most heavily trafficked areas in the city. Maxentius wanted to build this vast basilica as a sign of his power. He wanted to show Rome's citizens and ultimately the world his power, and he would do anything, no matter how difficult, to uphold his reputation as a strong emperor. The journey of materials needed for the basilica is depicted well by Brian Howard Sahatsky, who says the materials were shipped 2,400 kilometers across the Mediterranean, dragged up the Tiber River, unloaded in the overflowing marble yards, paraded down several kilometers of Roman streets, and erected in an area the size of a football field. As shown in this depiction, the process of just getting the materials there was immensely taxing. When it was finished by Constantine in AD 312, it measured 300 feet long and almost 200 feet wide. This is the largest building in the Roman Forum and was the last pagan basilica built in Rome. Constantine could have destroyed the beginnings of the basilica to wipe from sight anything connected to Maxentius, but instead he decided to finish it and put it in a mark. He also wanted to establish his power. Not only did Constantine want to show his power through his basilica, but he also started an important step in the spread of Christianity. Constantine, when he took over, made it a priority to see that Christianity was the primary religion in Rome. He worked extremely hard in order to lessen the popularity of other gods worshipped in Rome. Before his death in AD 337, he started to tear down temples dedicated to the Roman gods. The time he was emperor was a very significant time for the spread of Christianity. Rome was one of the largest and most influential powers in the world at that time and had a huge impact on other countries and cultures. And it helped Christianity become one of the most popular religions in Rome and later all of Europe. This building should be considered one of the most impressive architectural achievements of Rome, along with a symbol of an important time for the Christian religion. The fact that the Romans could construct a building over 1,700 years ago is absolutely astounding. This shows Romans' overall skill and drive to create magnificent works of art, and it is easy to see why this basilica is so significant to Roman culture and history. The Basilica of Maxentius and Constantine is not only a magnificent building and a tribute to Rome's skill, strength, and natural beauty, but it causes people to remember this time in Rome's history and how it was built during what is known as one of the most significant times for the spread of Christianity.